unsurpassed. And I'm sorry. And I heard it this time and I thought, everything is unsurpassed. A bird song is the Dharma. It's like, don't miss it. Everything is unsurpassed, perfect and penetrating Dharma. And whatever I say out of my mouth and whatever you say and whatever our lives are, that's it. It's too. There's deep mutuality. And it's like walking in the center of energy, past, present, future, above, below, and all around. Wow. What do we think we're doing here? Who do we think we are? So, and there's birdsong out there. Yeah.
It's a different person.
So it's nice to be back. Thank you for all of you, for holding the space, and to Chelsea and Marianne and Erica and Shelley. I haven't had time to listen to their talks, but I will this weekend, and I'm really looking forward to it. We are, this is our closing of a kind of unit, I suppose, of working around with the climate crisis. The world has cooperated beautifully. I would say that with a deep sense of sadness. But I also think, sometimes things just have to get big and bad for people to pay attention. So I'm very pleased. Susan Murphy's book, A Fire Runs Through All Things. Zen koans for facing the climate crisis, teachings on earth, mind, and not knowing. Today, let me back up a little bit first of all. Or maybe go forward. On Tuesday, a little bit of all of it. On Tuesday, Shelley offered a council on all beings. She held the space, and it was amazing who showed up. This is Joanna Macy's core teachings. Joanna Macy we haven't brought her forward so much this time, but we are yesterday and today. And she's just always here. Joanna Macy is a matriarch in the deepest, most beautiful way, just deep reverence. So we are about to start a practice period. We're going to enter on Sunday during the all-day sitting, and for 2 months we will practice with the Lojong Sengs, which are ancient and practical and deep and boundless. I think it will be wonderful and really helpful, because we all need to help ourselves and the whole world stay grounded. If, by chance, there are over 40 people in the practice period, which is wonderful. And if by chance you kind of didn't get your application in, or you were thinking maybe not, or whatever it is, or you just were doing other things, it's really too bad, but you missed your chance. No. If you would like to join the practice period, we would love to have you join the practice period in whatever way works for you. This is what is your deep intention, and how can this container help you live it, be it? The world needs you. And of course, whether you're in the practice period or not, we're all going to be here, and you're going to be here, and we're all practicing together. Make sure you sign up for the Sunday sitting if you're coming, and we hope you are. Sittings are an important part of. Longer sittings just help us know Zazen body. That's what I was trying to describe. It's an energy body, and it's very particular. But longer sittings, you just have more of a chance to drop down into it, to feel it, to actualize it, to be it. So, now going forward and back, the Council on All Beings, I thought, well, how wonderful. This is like, we all think we human beings are going to do this practice period. But we kind of forgot that I forget, or maybe we just don't say it. The whole world is doing the practice period with us. And it's the birds, and so we did the Council on All Beings, and I thought, oh, what a beautiful pre-opening to our practice period, because so many amazing beings came forward and were greatly articulate in both their gifts and their sorrows and the communication with the human world, and I feel really happy that our practice period is already huge and immeasurable, and everything is here to support us, and we are here to support it, which is always the truth. Practice period is just a concentrated, yes, I will. So I was Susan Murphy's book, the very last page spends a lot of time talking about not knowing mind, which is beyond just human cognition. There's linear, conventional mind, which is really important. You really need to get up and go to work or whatever, it's like the particular is it. And not knowing mind is awakeness and awareness right in the center of it. And she said the radiant core of the not knowing mind, this is the last page, almost the not last words, is what would love do now? That's the colon she leaves us with, is what would love do now? So what I'm hoping to do today, and we'll see time. I haven't got to say anything. I mean, we're going to talk really fast now for a few weeks. The Council on Being is based on Joanna Macy's spiral of the work that connects. Shelley brought this forward. We brought this forward together. It's a spiral, no beginning, no end. The elements that Joanna Macy calls forward is coming from gratitude, honoring our pain for the world, seeing with new eyes, and going forth. So I found little things that I want to share to vivify those. The first is coming from gratitude. To me, the seed of gratitude is wonder. Without wonder, the world is flat and known and this and that, and one wonders. So here's a little, maybe you all saw this, my sister sent, this was in the Press Democrat. Do you know about the comet that you missed last night? No, I'm sorry. But you still might be able to see it, it says. So here's just a little bit of wonder to elicit gratitude for an amazing planet, or systems, beyond systems, and that we're alive and waking up in it. A comet discovered last year is getting brighter as it makes its closest pass by Earth this week. And this could be humanity's last chance to see the comet before it disappears into the cosmic depths. Just sit with that, cosmic depths. The celestial visitor is Comet Chutingshan Atlas. And astronomers are expecting the comet to be especially vivid, possibly rivaling the brightness of Jupiter in the night sky. It was brightest last night just at sunset, but potentially visible through the end of the month. This one is, I would say, this is an astrophysicist, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This comet is for everyone. You feeling wonder and awe? Perhaps gratitude? Wow. It is like all comets, a frozen chunk of leftover material from the birth of the solar system. Wow. Talk about timeless time. The comet begins to melt as it nears the sun, causing the ball of ice to sprout a diffuse tail. The comet comes from the Oort cloud, a realm filled with frozen debris on the outer edge of our solar system. Initial observations suggest that the comet may orbit the sun once every 80,000 years. There's more, but I can sort of hear from some of the gasps that maybe we're touched by this comet as it touches us, along with all things. Okay, coming from gratitude. 2, honoring our pain for the world. I brought this forward before, and you probably maybe heard it before, but again, there's no hearing it and knowing it. I wanted to read Chief Seattle, the speech in his native Dawasham to his tribal assembly in the Pacific Northwest in 1854. It's a transcription by a white person who was writing things down, and then it was later made into a script by someone in 1970, and it's abridged, and so it's a best shot at someone who lived this, and these are his words. There's beauty in pain. The great chief in Washington sends words that he wishes to buy our land. How can you buy or sell the sky, the warmth of the land? This idea is strange to us. If we do not own the freshness of the air and the sparkle of the water, how can you buy them? Every part of this earth is sacred to my people. Every shining pine needle, every shady shore, every mist in the dark woods, every clearing and humming insect is holy in the memory and experience of my people. The sap which courses through the trees carries the memories of the red man. We are part of the earth, and it is part of us. So when the great chief in Washington sends words that he wishes to buy our land, he asks much of us. The great chief sends words he will reserve us a place so that we can live comfortably to ourselves. He will be our father, and we will be his children. So we will consider your offer to buy our land, but it will not be easy, for this land is sacred to us. The shining water that moves in the streams and rivers is not just water, but the blood of our ancestors. If we sell you our land, you must remember that it is sacred, and you must teach your children that it is sacred, and that each ghostly reflection in the clear water of the lake tells of events and memories in the life of my people. The water's murmur is the voice of my father's father. The rivers are our brothers. They quench our thirst. The rivers carry our canoes and feed our children. If we sell you our land, you must remember and teach your children that the rivers are our brothers and yours, and you must henceforth give the rivers the kindness you would give to any brother, sister. The air is precious to the red man, for all things shared the same breath. The beast, the tree, the man, they all share the same breath. The white man does not seem to notice the air he breathes. So we will consider your offer to buy the land, and if we decide to accept, I will make one condition. The white man must treat the beasts of this land as his brothers. What is man without the beasts? If all the beasts are gone, men would die from a great loneliness of spirit. For whatever happens to the beast soon happens to the man, to the person. All things are connected. You must teach your children that the ground beneath their feet is the ashes of their grandparents, so that they will respect the land. Tell your children that the earth is rich with the lives of our kin. Teach your children what we have taught our children, that the earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the children of the earth. This we know. The earth does not belong to man, to any person. Man belongs to the earth. This we know. All things are connected like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the children of the earth. Man does not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. So if we sell our land, love it as we've loved it. Care for it as we've cared for it. Hold it in your memory. Hold in your mind the memory of the land as it is when you take it. And with all your strength, with all your mind, with all your heart, preserve it for your children and love it. Number 3, Joanna Macy's work that reconnects is seeing with new eyes. She calls it, maybe it's called the living systems theory. 20th century biologists began to look at wholes instead of parts. A move from modern science and the industrial growth society. Classical science veered away from a holistic, organic view of the world to an analytical and mechanical one. 20th century biologists discovered that these wholes, seeing through wholeness, seeing through relationship, after we'd forgotten, which obviously people have known for a very long time, we just kind of forgot. And are forgetting and remembering that wholes, be they wholes, H-W-H, complete whole, cells, bodies, ecosystems, even the planet itself, are not just an assembly of parts or things. Buddhism is so clear and so beautiful. It's just the minute you name something and turn it into a thing, I mean, of course you have to do that because we differentiate, but to be aware of, the minute you do that, and really believe it, you lose the whole world. By shifting our focus to relationships instead of separate entities, scientists made an amazing discovery that nature is self-organizing. And they set about discerning the principles by which this self-organization occurs. 1. Want to hear it? Ellen will love it. Ellen has a scientific mind. It's great. Each system from atom to galaxy is a whole. That means that it is not reducible to its components. Its distinctive nature and capacities derive from the dynamic relationship of its parts. Everything interbe. This interplay is synergistic, generating emergent properties and new possibilities, which are not predictable from the character of the separate parts. That's not knowing mind. If you think you know what's going to happen in this election and what's going to happen with this or that, I mean, please, devote your whole life to what you believe in. And have absolutely no idea what's going to happen next, so that you can meet it and help create it and co-create it and be part of it. Number 2, thanks to the continual flow through of matter and energy and information, open systems are able to self-stabilize and maintain their balance. This is alive, and we're all a part of it. Whatever we're despairing, I'm sorry, get your feet on the ground. I mean, feel the grief. This homeostatic function enables systems to self-regulate amongst changing conditions in their environment. It is how a body maintains temperature, heal from a cut, ride a bicycle. Healing. Wholeness and healing have the same root word. Return. You ever watch a cut heal in a body? I mean, with a sense of awe and wonder. It's like, that's no more amazing than the comet. Just 3, open systems not only maintain their balance amidst the flux, but also evolve in complexity. Sort of like the saying of we won't go back. It's like, you can't go back. It's already evolving and will continue to evolve, and there'll be flux and there'll be in and out, and we'll think this and we'll think that. But when challenges from their environment persist, they can fall apart or adapt by reorganizing themselves around new, more functional norms. Maybe that's living in the Dharma. Nothing special, just line up with it, show up. 4, every system is a holon. That is, it is both a whole in its own right, comprised of subsystems and simultaneously an integral part of a larger system. Each new holonic level, say from atom to molecule, cell to organ, person to family, generates new emergent properties that are not reducible to the properties of the separate. This system self-generates from adaptive cooperation between the parts for mutual benefit. Marnie Brown, is that she's a young black radical wise writer. You know her. You should find out about her. But her first book was Emergent Systems, I think. My guess is it's based on this. You know, it's a way to be, quote, political without being strident or grim. What appeared to be separate and self-existent entities are now seen as interdependent and interwoven. As systems, we participate by virtue of constant flow-through in the evolving web of life, giving and receiving the feedback necessary to the web's integrity and balance. It is a dynamic process. We are not stuff that abides. The earth is a living process in which we participate. I have this book with, I don't spend much time with it, maybe I will, we will. Chanting from the Heart, Buddhist Ceremonies and Daily Practices, Thich Nhat Hanh and the monks and nuns of Plum Village. I mean, it's amazing. So we know Thich Nhat Hanh does a lot of, and his community now does a lot of earth-based, earth healing, climate awareness work. And I thought there is one daily practice called the 3 earth touchings. And I thought maybe we could do that together as an action. I mean, and then please go do some action, whatever that is. But don't think that action just looks like action. I mean, this is action. Zazen is action. Waking up is aligning with the dynamic action process of the entire universe and knowing, to me, this is living Bodhisattva vow. If you can think of something better to do, please. I told myself that for years. If you can think of something better to do, just go do it. And I really thought about it for a long, long time. And for me, it's like, I don't know, this is, find out, and I'm going to bring you back to this, is what would love do now? So let's just sit for a minute, okay? And it's a little long, but not too long, but it's a meditation. And as always with guided meditations, if it's not working for you, just sit and breathe and let the words just wash through, okay? Touching the earth. I connect with ancestors and descendants of both my spiritual and my blood families. Now please all touch the earth. Buddha's earth touching gesture. And then you don't have to keep doing it, just like you are touching the earth. And it is touching the earth. My spiritual ancestors include the Buddha, the Bodhisattvas, the noble Sanghas of Buddha's disciples, and my own spiritual teachers still alive or already passed away. They are present in me because they have transmitted to me seeds of peace, wisdom, love, and happiness. They have woken up in me my resource of understanding and compassion. When I look at my spiritual ancestors, I see those who are perfect in the practice of mindfulness and awareness, understanding and compassion, and those who are still imperfect. I accept them all because I see within myself shortcomings and weaknesses. Aware that my practice is not always perfect, and that I am not always as understanding and compassionate as I would like to be. I open my heart and accept all my spiritual descendants. Some of my descendants practice waking up, understanding, and compassion in a way that invites confidence and respect. But there are also those who come across many difficulties and are constantly subject to ups and downs in their practice. In the same way, I accept all my ancestors on my mother's side and my father's side of the family. I accept all their good qualities and their virtuous actions, and I also accept all their weaknesses. I open my heart and accept all my blood descendants with their good qualities, their talents, and also their weaknesses. My spiritual ancestors, blood ancestors, spiritual descendants, and blood descendants are all part of me. I am them and they are me. I do not have a separate self. All exist as part of a wonderful stream of life, which is constantly moving. Please now take 3 conscious breaths. Touching the earth, please touch the earth. I connect with all people and all species that are alive at this moment in this world with me. I am one with the wonderful pattern of life that radiates out in all directions. I see the close connection between myself and others, how we share happiness and suffering. I am one with those who were born disabled or who have become disabled because of war, accident, or illness. I am one with those who are caught in a situation of war or oppression. I am one with those who find no happiness in family life, who have no roots and no peace of mind, who are hungry for understanding and love, and who are looking for something beautiful, wholesome, and true to embrace and to believe in. I am someone at the point of death who is very afraid and does not know what is going to happen. I'm a child who lives in a place where there is miserable poverty and disease, whose legs and arms are like sticks and has no future. I am also the manufacturer of bombs that are being sold to poor countries. I'm the frog swimming in the pond, and I am also the snake who needs the body of the frog to nourish its own body. I'm the caterpillar or the ant that the bird is looking for to eat, and I am also the bird that is looking for the caterpillar or the ant. I am the forest that is being cut down. I am the rivers and the air that are being polluted, and I am also the person who cuts down the forests and pollutes the rivers and the air. I see myself in all species, and I see all species in me. I am one with the great beings who have realized the truth of no birth and no death and are able to look at the forms of birth and death, happiness and suffering with calm eyes. I am one with those people who can be found a little bit everywhere, who have sufficient peace of mind, understanding, and love, who are able to touch what is wonderful, nourishing, and healing, who also have the capacity to embrace the world with a heart of love and arms of caring action. I am someone who has enough peace, joy, and freedom, and is able to offer fearlessness and joy to living beings around themselves. I see that I am not lonely and cut off. The love and the happiness of all beings on this planet help me not to sink into despair. They help me to live my life in a meaningful way with true peace and happiness. I see them all in me, and I see myself in all of them. 3 breaths, please. Number 3. Touching the earth, I let go of my idea that I am this body and my lifespan is limited. Please, I'll touch the earth. I see that this body, made up of the 4 elements, is not really me, and I am not limited by this body. I am part of a stream of life of spiritual and blood ancestors that for thousands of years has been flowing into the present and flows on for thousands of years into the future. I am one with my ancestors. I am one with all people and all species, whether they are peaceful and fearless or suffering and afraid. At this very moment, I am present everywhere on this planet. I am also present in the past and in the future. The disintegration of this body does not touch me, just as when the plum blossom falls, it does not mean the end of the plum tree. I see myself as a wave on the surface of the ocean. My nature is the ocean water. I see myself in all the other waves, and I see all the other waves in me. The appearance and disappearance of the form of the wave does not affect the ocean. My Dharma body and spiritual life are not subject to birth and death. I see the presence of myself before my body manifested and after my body has disintegrated. And even in this moment, I see how I exist everywhere. I see how I exist elsewhere than in this body. 70 or 80 years is not my lifespan. My lifespan, like the lifespan of a leaf or of a Buddha, is limitless. I have gone beyond the idea that I am a body that is separated by space and time from all the other forms of life. 3 deep breaths. How about just in twos, just have a little bit of time. I'll put people on the screen too in groups. Just a couple minutes each from each person. The question of what would love do now? Don't think about, not cognitive, just what arises.